everyone, Jazz the Medium. I just wanted to take a quick moment and just talk about mediums and, you know, like what we are, some myths that are associated with us, and kind of like what we do. So, a medium. I consider a medium a person that can connect between here and I call it the spirit realm, and that is basically a place where I can connect with loved ones that have been deceased or crossed over. A good analogy I would like to call it is like, let's say you got on the phone, your grandmother died, and you got on the phone to call her. I would be the phone. So I would be the one to receive messages from her to give them to you, and receive messages from you to try to give to her, which I really don't have to give her a message because she kind of already knows what you're saying. You're the one who really needs the message. They already kind of know because they're here already. So when people die, they don't really necessarily leave per se. They just change form. We can't see them. So a lot of the times our deceased loved ones, they're still with us in many different ways. So it's just kind of hard for us as humans to grasp that because we can't see them. Mediums are very much, we're human just like anybody else. When we lose loved ones, we grieve. We go through the same grief process as everyone else does. And for some of us, and I can at least say for myself, my mom's been gone probably almost 2 years of being April, and I'm a medium and I have issues. I can't connect with her, but another medium can probably connect with her. So sometimes some of us, we can't really connect with our own loved ones as much as saying another medium can, but I can connect with your loved one, you know, and it's probably due to some emotional blockages or something like that I get through, but I haven't mastered that yet. But she does visit me frequently in dreams, so I consider that like a visit. How we connect. Now, how we connect is different depending on the medium that you talk about. So we have these things called clairs, and there's several of them, but the main ones is clairvoyance, which is the gift of sight, and then there's claircognizance, which is knowing, and then it's clairsentience, which is touch, clairaudience, which is hearing, and then there's the clair, I can't think of it, but it's like smell, and there's a clair for taste. So I can use all of them, but my strongest clairs are knowing and sight. You know, my hearing would come third, but it's not as strong. Like with the names, I might hear a name, but I might be off by a letter, or I might hear the letter and be off at the name. Like I might hear Bobby, but it's Robbie, or I might get the E right and it be Edward, but it's Earl. You know, it just depends. But if I can see and give you a description of something, I can see. Another thing that we use are symbols. So the symbol is individual to the medium. There is a book of symbols, but depending on the medium that you talk to, different symbols may be different for different people. You know, an example would be like, if I'm giving a girl a reading and she's talking to me about a relationship, and I see a suitcase that tells me that she needs to leave. Or I have a signal for danger, you know, or I have a no feeling or a yes feeling. I call it my eh. If I feel a eh, I know that's a no. But if I feel like a smooth feeling, I know that's a yes. So for developing mediums, it's just important to pay attention and to learn your symbols. I would advise you to keep a journal. That's what I did. I would write down things because they will pop up again, especially if I keep seeing it. You know, like if someone's been to prison before, I don't know why I see a bird in a cage, but I see a bird in a cage. Like, what? Bird in a cage? Prison? I don't know why. That's my symbol for it. So I know, like, if I'm, you know, channeling and I see a bird in a cage, I know, like, you know, he been to prison before? I know. You know, things like that. Or I have a symbol for the military, you know. I haven't quite figured out my symbols for, like, specific branches yet, but those are starting to come in. You kind of develop all the time. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the more you can fine tune it. So certain myths about mediums. One of the things I hear is that we're connected to the devil or we're evil. I can tell you right now, there's not an evil bone in my body. I'm like the most loving person you ever meet. You know, another myth is that people assume, I hear this a lot from religious people. They assume that since we can't see who we're connecting with, it could be like the devil or somebody playing tricks on us. But what I have to say back to that is that whoever you believe in whoever you pray to, do you really know who you're connecting with? You know, that's a question. You know what I mean? Who are you connecting with? So who's right and who's wrong in this situation? I try to be a person of non-judgment, and I try not to make what I'm doing is right and make what you're doing is wrong, because I don't subscribe to the concept of right and wrong per se. You know, whatever works for you works for you. There are also a lot of psychics that I know that don't deal in mediumship because of the same thing. It's a misconception, but all mediums are actually psychic. So, and the crazy thing is, because I've connected with mediums who say they don't do psychic work, but they are doing psychic work, because you have to be psychic in order to tap into that particular aspect of yourself. But most importantly, what I like to get across is that we're human just like y'all. A lot of times if I see people in public, they'll run the other way. Or if I have a booth at a social event, they'll shy away from my table. But then they'll go to the lady that's reading the tarot cards, because there's just this fear about mediums, because we can connect with the deceased in the spirit realm. And to me, it's just another level that we can connect on. I think with the psychic senses, we're able to connect directly to you and your aura, your aura. But on the mediumship level, we can connect to the place where our ancestors or people that we loved or deceased or whatever you want to call it reside at. So, mediums, we are human. We feel like you feel. We're not over here. I don't do no crazy witchcraft or anything like that to do my mediumship, and I don't even consider what people consider witchcraft as crazy or anything like that. You know, everyone has their own things that they do. I just simply have the ability to connect. I've had this ability to connect since I was 4, 3, probably before that, but since I remember. So I hate when people tell me that I'm evil for something that I was born doing. You know, that I've done since I remember. You know what I mean? So another misconception is that mediums do not believe in God. That's not true. I know some mediums who belong to the church. I know some mediums that practice other religions. I know mediums that are across the spectrum that do many things. At the end of the day, we are the same as everyone else. We just have abilities. And the way I look at it is that I think that everybody has psychic abilities. So I was talking to a young lady one day, and she said, I wish I was psychic like you. I said, well, you are psychic. Everybody's psychic. Everybody got a little gut intuition to tell you like something ain't right. We were born with it. That's how we are able to, as humans, to survive on this planet millions and millions and millions of years. It's instinct. So everyone has a psychic sense. I asked her what was her eyesight. She said 20/20. I said, well, mine is 20/80. You just see a little bit clearer than I can. You know, so when you look at it that way, or like somebody's hearing might be a little bit better than yours, or somebody that's blind might hear better. It's just a higher sense. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. There's nothing special about it. There's nothing mystical about it. Or people just like everybody else. Our intuition is just a little bit on a higher level than some people. But if I didn't exercise this muscle and someone wasn't as strong as me and they exercise this muscle, they can surpass me over time, whether it's natural or not. So I'm really not much different than anyone else. I just see differently, and I look at things differently. If you would like to book a reading with me, you can hit up my website at www.jazzthemedium.com, or you can email me at jazzthemedium@gmail.com. If you feel like you have any gifts and you're interested in developing your gifts, you can reach out to me. I do have a mentorship program. If you want to reach out to me because you feel like you have gifts and you don't know you have gifts, you know, I can probably guide you in that way too. I do have the ability to see people who have gifts and to assist them to find their gifts. But you'll have to put in a work, of course, which it takes quite a bit of work. I think my next video I'm going to talk about my path to how I came into my gifts. That's another question I get asked a lot. I probably got a video on that, but since I've got more followers now, I think it's time to make another video. So with that being said, please like and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, IG. I'm here on YouTube. I will be on Twitter and Snapchat soon. Maybe not. That's just too many platforms to keep up with. I'm really keeping up with the ones I got. Stay tuned. On February 1st, 2020, I will be in Russellville, Kentucky at an event. If you are anywhere near Russellville and you want to come get a live reading from me, or you want to purchase any of my products, please come see me. All right, guys. Peace.